Come get some. I'm number one. I rock the mic, but I can't get enough, and I will snuff any bully in front of me. Yo, it's inherited, it runs in the family. Yeah, it runs in the family. My name is Rich, and I know that you heard of me. Step to me, that'll make you an enemy. I know there's something that you really don't want to be so stumped. Welcome to another episode of Live Feed with your host, Richard Santiago. I am your host, Richard Santiago, and feeling really good today. This is the first time I really did a good workout in like a month because I've been so busy and because my yoga instructor has been gone for like a month, taking care of graduations and birthday parties and stuff like that. So I'm back in the mix of everything that I normally do, but then I'm probably going to start getting busy again because, as you know, I'm working on a Netflix original film the next 2 months, and I have my own personal projects, of course, and I have my clients that I'm still working with. So I got a mixture of things, and plus donating my time at the USO. I'm really going to have a crazy summer, but I'm at least starting to get my mind back by jumping into my yoga again. Amazing Angel, thank you for joining the show. So I want to remind you guys that this episode and all the episodes are brought to you by Dear Bully, nonfiction film by thebullyexposed.com, which I directed. Hello everyone that's joining. So check it out. You can go to thebullyexposed.com. You can check out the film. The film is $10 and you get yourself a downloaded copy of it, and you get to keep it for yourself. And so tell your friends about it, and 100% of the proceeds that we get from the film goes right back to thebullyexposed.com. Let me say that again, 100%. This ain't no 10% here. There ain't no 20% here like most of your organizations do. No, this is 100% of the proceeds goes to back to the bullyexposed.com. So what I want to talk about is this unfortunate thing here that occurred. Two women were beat up by men after refusing to kiss for their entertainment. We talked about this earlier, but we're going to cover it again. You know, it's a shame that we still live in a world like this, you know. The first thing I know that I want to say is that any person of color should know what these people are going through. You know, it really shocks me when this kind of stuff upsets me, and then a person of color who's straight says, well, why are you so concerned about it? You know, it's not you. It's not happening to you. You're straight. You know what? This has happened to me. You know, I've been in situations where the color of my skin pissed somebody off so much that they felt like they had to do something like this. I was 9 years old, living in the Bronx. I was in a white neighborhood. And you're 9 years old. You don't know white neighborhood, black neighborhood. You know, you don't know that. And I went into a store with my friend who was African American, and we went in there to get candy, and we were refused. Okay, we were refused to be served. So as we left, my friend thought it would be a good idea to yell out, "Honky," to the store owner. When he did that, 3 guys came out from the back of the room. I would say they probably were 18. You know, each of them. Hello, Prince Death Wish. Thank you for joining the show again. We're talking about the same topic we talked about yesterday. And partly that is because of the it didn't record properly. So if you can put your input, Princess, that you did yesterday, I would really appreciate that. So they chased us. They caught us. They kept punching us and asking us if we were scared. They said, if you're scared, pee in your pants. Show us you're scared. And they kept hitting us until my friend finally just peed in his pants. And then they just left us there. So I know what this is like. I don't, to be honest, I must have blocked it out because I really can't remember how I felt that day. I just know that the only thing that I can remember from that day is that you're going to have to punch me until your knuckles are swollen because I'm not going to pee in my pants. You know, I was thankful that my friend took the hit for both of us by peeing in his pants, but I know that it wasn't going to be me. They were going to have to beat me silly before I did that, you know. But so I know what these people are going through, and you know, I'm hoping that these guys, this gang of guys that did this, that none of them were any person of color, because shame on them. I mean, no one should do this, don't get me wrong, but a person, in my opinion, a person of color should really not be doing this at all, because we've been there and we should not be doing it to other people. But unfortunately, sometimes we forget. We forget what we went through, unfortunately, you know, some of us. And the sad part is that everybody has, if you lived in America, everybody has gone through this, you know. I've had Italian friends that that told me their horror stories of when they came to America, and how they used to get beat up like this and stuff like that, you know, how they changed their names. You know, even my Irish friends, I have Irish friends that if their name is O'Neill or O'Connor, they would drop the O and just call themselves, you know, Neil, last name Neil, or last name Connor, not O'Neill, not O'Connor, because the O was a sign that they were Irish and they used to get discriminated against, so they stopped carrying that O. So everyone has been through this, so I don't understand why people continue to do this. Prince Deathwish says, I was beaten because I am bi, and got told to die. It's a shame, you know. And I'm sure that this Diamond Timms, thank you for joining the show. I'm sure that this bus was empty, because it's just a shame that no one came to their rescue. But again, like I said, no person of color should be doing this, or should know what they're going through. Should know what they're going through, and if you don't, it's a shame. And it's a shame how, like I said, how some people say, you know, it's not our problem. It's not your problem because you're straight. No, it is. It's everyone's problem. You know, it is everyone's problem. And Tim says, this is terrible. Yes, it is. And it's everyone's problem. You know, if you're straight and you're sitting there thinking, I don't have to worry about this, you know, you do. You know, you do. Especially if you're straight and you're a person of color. Because if they're going to this, then how long will it be before they start going back to let's find a Mexican person, or let's find a Spanish person, or let's find an African American person and do this to them, you know. Tim says the world needs to stop abusing. Yes. An Amazing Angel 01 says, yes, I agree. Stop looking away, I think is what you... Yeah, looking away when bad things are happening to others. Now, you know, that is the right thing to do. We need to stop looking away. But you also, you know, in all fairness, let's be fair, and you have to look at the whole situation. If it's just you and two other people, then you probably don't want to jump in on that, because you're gonna get, you know, if it's, you know, 10 against 3, you're gonna get beat. You know, but go and get help. By all means, film it so that their faces can be on it, so each person can be, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, looked at it, and they can probably guess who the people are based on their looks, and then apprehend them later on down the future. But yeah, if it's a situation like I've seen situations where it's one person on a bus, uh, like I saw one the other day on a New York City bus where this lady was just harassing this Asian lady. I couldn't believe it, and she started kicking her, and the Asian lady kicked back at her, but everyone else was pretty much watching. It's like when it's like that one on one, all by all means jump in, say, "Hey, lady, what are you doing?" Pushing her, and get other people too. Say you're just gonna sit here and look, and that way you can, everyone can keep that lady apart, keep her separate, and maybe keep her I don't want to say like a citizen's arrest type of thing. That's kind of ridiculous, but kind of keep her there so that when you go to the next stop, police can be notified and hopefully someone called. And then when you get to the next stop, police are sitting there waiting and they could arrest her. In that situation, yes, Amazing Angel 01 is absolutely right. If it's one on one, definitely should get in there and separate them and say, leave the person alone, and hold her for the police, whatever it may take. But if it's you and one other person on a train or a bus, and it's 10 men, that's worth calling the police. Getting somewhere to safety where you can call the police or film it in secret so that you can later give it to the police. You don't ever want to put yourself in any danger by any means. But yeah, get other people. If it's a crowded bus like that second story I was telling you about, it was a crowded. It had to be rush hour on the train, and there was a crowd of people, and they were just sitting there watching. To me, when you see a bunch of people watching like that, I don't think, and I could be wrong. You guys tell me what you think. Beverly Benzie, thank you for joining the show. I don't think it's a situation of I'm too scared to get involved. I think it's more of a situation of they agree that that person should not be allowed to exist or be here or stuff like that. That's my opinion. And I know that from seeing like situations like this, living in New York and seeing situations like this, and then it's all the people leave or whatever, and you hear the people that didn't get involved say, well, she deserved it, and she shouldn't be in this country. It's like, wow, really? So to me, and there's always exceptions to the rules, but there's always a situation where those people don't feel like that person has any rights, and that's a shame. But yeah, if you're in that situation, tell that person to stop. Get other people involved. Look at people right in the eye and say, "You're just gonna sit there and watch this happen? You're gonna sit there and watch this happen? Let's go. Let's get involved. This lady is wrong." But yeah, it's a shame what happened to these two ladies, and I hope they catch the guys and they put them right under the jail, because that's where they deserve to be. But we've all, we've all been. If you're a woman, you've been here. That's for sure. I think women of all color have been here. Maybe not beaten like this, but to a point where it's probably almost come to this. I know I've heard stories from friends. I couldn't believe it. Lady sitting at a bar by herself. Guy comes up and starts talking to her. She says, "Thank you very much. I'm flattered, but I'm really not interested. I just want to sit here, have my drink, and go home." And the guy punched her in the face. It's like, wow, word to all you ladies: if you turn down a guy, be careful. Put yourself in a position where a fist might come next. But that's a shame. That's really a shame. What is wrong with that person? He obviously has a problem with rejection, but what is wrong with that person that he can't just talk to a lady? The lady says, "No, really not interested." We've all been there, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I've been there. I've talked to a woman, and I'm really not interested, or I'm already seen someone, or whatever. Oh, well, it was nice meeting you, and you go on, your way. It's really it's really a shame. But you know me, I always say that everyone needs to learn to defend themselves. Um, everyone needs to learn to carry something with them, not something that's illegal. Okay, something that's legal, because you never know when you're in this situation. You just never know. And as an advocate for bullies, it's a tough thing. Just to let you guys know, it's a tough thing advocating for bullies. I mean, excuse me, advocating for survivors and victims of bullying, because everyone thinks then, oh, you must, everyone thinks that a victim or a survivor of bullying is weak. All right, we know that they think that we are all weak people and that we need to grow a pair, and if we grew a pair, then we wouldn't be bullied. That's not altogether true. So, being an advocate for survivors of bullying, they think, well, if you're an advocate, then you are weak too. So I find myself in a lot of positions where where I end up having to almost defend myself. You know, so I know what these people are going through, and yes, it's true that I can't understand the part about being gay because I'm straight. But I definitely understand the part of just sitting there minding your business and someone, because of who you are. Thank you for smashing that heart. Everyone, please smash that heart for me one time, because of who I am or what I believe in. I'm in a position where I need to all of a sudden defend myself. So, Amazing Angel 01 says, I think you're a very brave person. Thank you. Yes. So I definitely understand where these ladies are coming from, and anyone that has to deal with this. I've heard stories where friends are walking through a neighborhood. The neighborhood happens to be a gay neighborhood. These are straight guys now. Okay, I've heard this story from a friend. Two guys walking through. They're getting someplace and they cut through a district that is known for to be a gay area, and these guys jump out of the car and start beating them up. And these are straight guys, but because they were two guys walking together in a gay neighborhood or gay district, these guys felt it was okay to, and they obviously, I mean, it's written right there, they obviously were cruising the neighborhood trying to find these guys to beat up. Luckily, one of them was a cop, and so cops keep their guns on them all the time. Danielle, thank you for joining the show. And Amazing Angel says, because it takes courage to be a voice for the voiceless. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I tell people all the time, I could probably be making a very lucrative career making films, that you know like not actual Batman films. They'll be B-rated films, of course. They'll be independent films, but making independent narrator films. About guy meets girl, girl and guy fall in love. Stuff like that. But I choose to make nonfiction films because to me it's more fulfilling to my soul to tell someone's story, uh, rather than to tell a story about a Batman, a fictional character. I rather would tell the story of a non-fictional character than the story of Batman or something like that. So you know, and talking with you guys, and that's what helps me get through the day. Um, Yes, it is so awful, Danielle. It's very awful that this occurs. You know, I can remember when I was young, just so you guys know, because I'm kind of old. I'm sure I'm probably the oldest person in this little virtual room right now. And when I was young, they used to say that dating outside your race is is against God. You know, if you date outside your race, it's against God, and it's horrible. Now they're saying if you date your same race, it's against God and it's horrible. I mean, to use God's name like that to get your little agenda across is horrible. But, you know, that's what they do. Amazing Angel says, yes, Prince Death Wish, I have grown up watching my mom help and stick up for others. Oh, I must have missed that. Oh, yeah, I missed that. Let's see. I would always stand up for people that were bullied, is by Death Wish. Awesome. Um, yeah. Anybody else with any stories like this? I could also remember walking through the streets in New York one time when with a friend of mine, and he was white, and the cops pulled us over and talked to my friend for like had me separate. You know, I can hear him talking, but had me separated from him and talk to him for like 45 minutes about how bad it is for him to be friends with people of color. And that's the world we live in. And you know, it's really funny because a lot of people say, well, you're in New York. You know, New York is so diverse and great and this and that. You know, the only difference between New York and Philadelphia and states that are in the north is that they don't think people of color should be slaves. That's the only difference. But a lot of people do not feel that people of color are equal, and that's why there's a lot of things happening there. There's a film out right now. I haven't seen it, about the Central Park Five, that talks about the racism in America, and it's there. It's definitely there. Thank you, Danielle, for smashing that heart. Everyone else, please, if you can smash that heart. Wang. Yeah, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you for joining the show. But anyone else has a story. It doesn't have to be about a gay situation or like that, but any situation like that where if you've experienced some type of bigotry based on something. I know women experience. I've been talking to a lot of women. In fact, I've done a film about bullying in the workplace with women. So I talk to a lot of women, and I know that women do have stories of that, and it's a shame that that still goes on. You know, get with the program. Women are in the workplace. Women are in the workforce, and that's how it is. And get with the program and grow up. You know, it's a shame that some men just do not grow up, and as a man, I'm embarrassed. You know, honestly. Uh, yes, Angel 01, thank you for joining the conversation. She says, yes, I was bullied first at school because of my afro hair. Okay. Then at church because two girls were jealous of me. Is that an all black church or was it a mixed church? I'm curious. Um, Yeah, it's and you really the thing about it is that gets me about people who bully people because of their it could be hair, it could be whatever, is that they want that type of hair, they want that type of skin. Also, okay, yeah, and that's the worst thing when a race of people bully or discriminate their own people, and it's a shame. For instance, like I told this to you guys yesterday. I'll tell you again, I'm Puerto Rican, and Puerto Ricans are a mixture of African American, because they were brought in during the slave trade days. Spaniards, because the Spaniards occupied a lot of those Caribbean islands down there, Cuba and places like that. And then Indians, the Indians that were found on the island of Puerto Rico, which are called Tainos. And so you'll have light-skinned people from the Spaniards, and then you'll have dark-skinned people from the Indians and from the African Americans, and they were not allowed to mix. And my dad was light-skinned Hispanic, and my mom was dark-skinned Puerto Rican, and they were not allowed to speak and not allowed to mix, not allowed to talk. But my dad still did, and you know, and kudos to him for saying no. You know, here's a person I love. I don't care about the color of her skin. And that's hard to say in 1947. You know, nowadays it's easy to say, you know, but it was hard to say in 1947, that's for sure. So let's see what we got here. We got, so Amazing Angel did say an all black church. She also went on to say, and my mom really stuck up for me. Okay, you said mum, M-U-M, instead of M-O-M. So that leads me to believe that maybe you are in England or Australia. Where are you from? And welcome to the show. She also goes on to say, I know that I can't read that word, designed to do great things. And so I tend to use my experience to help other people. Good. Good for you, Angel. Welcome to the show. Okay, she lives in England. Yes. When you wrote M-U-M, that really gave it away. Well, awesome. Welcome. We have a lot of kids that from England that watch our show, but I've been so busy working late that I haven't been able to get up at 6 a.m. when it's a normal time for you guys in England. So it's hard. And I'm 10-year-old motivational speaker. Wow. At the age of 10 years old. Awesome. Good for you. Good for you. That's one thing that I want to get into is start speaking at events. So I'm hoping to start getting into that. Anti-bullying ambassador. Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome. I got a new film, I'm sorry. I just directed a new film for thebullyexposed.com, a non-profit organization. I'm going to send that link to you, okay? Amazing Angel, and you are an amazing angel. 10 years old and a motivational speaker. That's good. That's good. How are things? How is life different in England as opposed? I know, you know, how's just life different? I know you don't have nothing to compare it to, you know, but how would, in your opinion, then, how would you think life for a person of color is different than maybe that you would think it would be in America? And I know you could only take a guess, but I'm curious. Yes, please. Me and my mom would have a look at the video. Okay, awesome. I appreciate that. 10 years old, wow. 10 years old, I was, like I just told the story, 9 years old. I was just, I don't know if you heard the story about me and my friend getting beat up by a couple of, how do I put this nicely, a couple of white kids because of the color of our skin, because we walked into an all-white store and tried to purchase some candy. At 10 years old, that's what I was dealing with. I was just learning about racism. Here you are at 10 years old and you're a speaker. That's great. That's awesome. Let's see. Life is very different, okay, for me, and my mom has always taught me to believe in myself. That's awesome. So are both your parents, if you don't mind me asking, are both your parents people of color or African American? African, or what's your situation? Or is your mom white and your dad a different color? What's your situation? But yeah, it's very amazing to me the things you have done. Yes, they are people. They are people that don't like black people, but I have not experienced it too much. Yeah, it's really funny because I do have a couple of friends from England that live in America now, um, and they tell me that there's not like hardly any racism in in uh, in England, and but I've seen documentaries where I have heard some very racist things said. Um, so it's like, I wonder if my friends are painting a different picture, or if my friends have not experienced that. Like one of my friends is African, and I asked him, do they say the word nigger in England? He said that he's never dealt with anyone saying that word to him, but if he did, he would punch him right in the mouth, and the police or anybody would not do anything about it. So that's from his words. Uh, let's see what else Angel has to say. Let's see. And when we do, my mom always stands up for me and us all. Okay, so you have maybe some brothers and sisters. Is that what us all means? That yeah, for a long time I thought that, well, maybe England's a little more ahead of us when it comes to the game of forgetting race and moving on. But I get mixed things. I get mixed things from different people about the racism in England, and it's a shame. We all need to learn to just put this aside of us. If you don't like um, African Americans, I mean, well, in this case, you're from England, so Africans or people from a different color or people who are gay, you know, and you come with, you walk into a store and they're there or whatever, walk out, or I don't know what to tell you, but it's really a shame. Let's see, when she was walking back from the shop, and my brother was so upset. Did I miss something else? And when we do my mom always sticks up. I felt like I missed one thing that you said. Uh, but yeah, it's really a shame. It's really a shame that people have to be this way. That they can't. It's okay not to like someone, but you just deal with them and you act mature, and then you know just act mature. Meek the jeweler, thank you for joining the show. Um, so that's great. It's I'm assuming it's late in England right now, right? It should be real super late for you right now. So I really thank you for staying on the show this long. So Meek, do you want to talk about today's topic? The two girls in England that were beat up when they refused to kiss for men's entertainment. And I'm going to tell you something right now. This is definitely not bullying, because bullying is repeated. Um, but the things that these guys done are definitely the same things that bullies do. That's for sure. Where it's like, they make you jump through hoops, and then when you jump through those hoops, or if you don't jump through those hoops, you get beat up, or you get something negative, very negative, happens to you. Um, and I can tell you right now that these girls, these ladies, I should say, excuse me, no matter what they did, they were this was going to be the end result. If they kissed, they would have said, "Oh, that's disgusting. You guys are disgusting," and they probably would have got beat up. I don't think it would have been a situation of, "Oh, cool, they kissed," and everybody would have been high fiving. I think it was bound to end this way, because that's the way bullies are. They put you in a position where you don't want to do something. Then if you don't do it, this is the end result. If you do it, then you're disgusting or something, and the end result is the same thing. Because they just want to hurt, because a lot of people feel they're the ones that are hurt. No, I think bullying happens because people are not held accountable. That's my opinion. What's your opinion, Angel? But they're not held accountable. If we start to hold bullies accountable, trust me, there's going to be a lot more people getting help, if that's the help, if that's what they need, or just not bullying at all. But I think, like I said, that bullying happens because people are not held accountable. People do something, they're not held accountable, and then they say, well, if I got away with it once, I can get away with it again, and they continue to try and get away with it. And that's really a shame that that's how people are. But we've been putting questions up on my story area. Please go check those out. A lot of people have been answering the questions. I'm going to interview a teacher, and probably today. And so I put up a section on there where if you want to ask a teacher a question, here's your chance now. So we did get a few questions. Let's get a few more to ask our teacher. Angel says, yes, we need to deal with bullying and let them know it's wrong. Yep. When someone does something, you can blame the bully, but if we don't show people that what they're doing is wrong, then how are we supposed to know? How are we supposed to know if we're doing something wrong if we're never told? And that's what's happening, because for some reason the bully is more protected than the person being bullied, and I don't understand why that's happening. I really would like to know why that's occurring, but we don't ever hold the bully accountable, and we should. We have to start really doing that. No more of this, oh, you can't do that, and then, okay, go on your merry way. No, it's time to start holding these bullies accountable. That's what we really need to start doing. So, how long have you been a motivational speaker, Angel? But accountability is the key. It really truly is. Accountability. We got to start holding people accountable for these actions, especially when it ends up like this. A bunch of guys on two girls. That's horrible. That's really horrible. And I know I got a couple of friends that wish that they were there to watch this. It would have not ended too nicely for the punks. That's all they are. So Amazing Angel says, I've been speaking for 2 years. Do you speak at schools? Where do you speak at? Yeah, it's really a shame. But yeah, we're going to talk to a teacher. We're going to talk to a teacher, and we're going to ask her the questions you guys want to know about. So here's your chance now. If you ever wanted to ask a teacher something, now it's going to be a teacher from America. It won't be a teacher from any particular area like the UK. But if you're a person that wants to know, ask a teacher a question, here's your chance now. And we're going to put up a video with her answer, so you guys can get your questions answered. Because I think it's very important for I hear a lot of things. I told my teacher that I was being bullied, and my teacher didn't do anything. And it's like, okay, well, this won't be your teacher. It'd be great to hear from your teacher as to why she didn't do anything, but to hear from a teacher as to why maybe it might be that a student, that a teacher did nothing, I think is very key. So Angel says, I speak to a lot on personal development stages. Okay, and now I'm going to schools because I'm getting asked to come and inspire kids. Awesome. Yeah, when kids hear it from people their same age, that's a lot better. Yeah. I always tell people, I always tell kids, you see someone being bullied, go up to them, talk to them, tell them this is not their fault. You know, when it comes from a person your same age, it holds a lot more weight than if it came from a person my age. Angel also goes on to say, my mom thinks that this is where it starts, when the teachers do nothing about the bullying. That school is where it starts. Yeah, and I've heard stories from parents. I've heard stories from parents where the teacher or the principal start to bully them when they come in and say, my kid has told you that they're being bullied. You haven't done nothing. Now I'm here. They start bullying the parents. It's like, wow, and again, being that I'm bringing this up, let me tell any of you parents that might be watching this video, if that happens, you must remain calm. You can't get upset too. I talk to moms, it's like they start yelling at me, I start yelling at them. Even though they're yelling at you, you have to remain calm and stay with them. And the way I look at it is, I tell you, all of you guys, this: when you go to talk to the principal, and you live in a city or a country that allows you to record someone without their knowledge, you get up and you record. If you have that right, exercise that right. Exercise all your rights and go in there and talk with the principal and let them do that. Let them bully you on audio tape, so you have that, so you can turn in to the proper authorities and get that person fired. Because any principal that's yelling at a parent because they're concerned about their kids, no, that is wrong. And then and they're smart because they know all it takes is for you to start yelling at them. And the minute you start yelling at them, then they say, whoa, I feel threatened. They get security, and then you're escorted out of the school, and you can never, hopefully you're not escorted for a long time. I mean, hopefully you're not expelled from coming into the school. But once they do that, then that's it. The kid is never going to be able to tell the principal, I'm being bullied, you better do something about it. As much as the parent does. So, I'm telling you all, you guys, right now, I've talked to a lot of parents, and they say, when I bring up recording without people's knowledge, the first thing they say is, well, what about the rights of that person? The hell with the rights of that person. If you have a principal that's bullying, or you have a principal that's abusing his authority, that needs to be brought out to light. And it's going to be very hard if it's just your word against theirs. If you have proof, then then they can't deny it. So we got to stop. As people who have been bullied, we got to stop. Allowing people to. Like you can't think about other people's feelings. Okay, when it comes to a person that's breaking the law. If he's not breaking the law, if he's trying his best to hey, Daddy Memes, thank you for joining the show. Erica, thank you for joining the show. He's trying his best to protect your kid. Yeah, by all means, no problem. But if he's like all these parents that have told me that they're bullying them, or they're trying to twist things around, and that you need to bring that to light. And the only way to bring that to light is to to record it without their knowledge. And it's funny because when you record someone without the knowledge, the first thing they say is, well, I didn't know I was being recorded. That doesn't matter. This is how you normally act. This is how you act on a normal basis. This is norm for you, and it should be brought to the front. So Erica asked what happened. Well, these two women were asked by a bunch of men to kiss for their entertainment, and when they refused, the men beat them up. And it's really a shame. I could never think of laying my hands on a woman, and these guys just did it without even, I wonder if any of them feel remorse or anything of that nature. But it's a shame. So, Erica, have you experienced maybe being discriminated against because you were female, or anything of that nature? Have you ever experienced anything like that, Erica? But I hope, like I said, I hope these guys are get caught, and I hope they find them, and I hope they put them under the jail. Because that's the only good thing for these guys. These guys should not be in society, as far as I'm concerned. Erica says no. Well, I'm glad to hear that you have no stories like that. Honestly, glad to hear that. It's really a shame. It's really a shame that these kind of things are still going on. But like I said, we do have up on our site where if you want to ask a teacher a question, you can go to our My Story section in the Instagram feed, in our Instagram feed, and ask a teacher question. If you ever wanted to ask a teacher a question, here's your chance now. I'm going to interview a teacher today, so get your question in today. But I want to remind you guys that live feed with your host, Richard Santiago, is brought to you by thebullyexposed.com and the film Dear Bully, produced by thebullyexposed.com. Check out the film. The film costs $10 to watch, but 100% of the proceeds goes to thebullyexposed.com. Let me say that again. 100% of the proceeds goes back to the nonprofit bullyexposed.com, so they can continue to make films that inspire and that educate people about bullying. That's what they're all about. This episode is also brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher. For all your teacher resources, if you're homeschooling your kids, check out travelingtechteacher.com. So that's going to do it for me today. I want to thank Erica and Amazing Angel 01 for all her input. I will be DMing you. Thank you for smashing that heart. I appreciate it. We will keep in touch, everyone. Remember that anyone can wear the crown. Anyone can be a hero. So be kind to one another and have a great day. And I'll see you all tomorrow, guys. Have a nice day. Bye, guys.